Have you ever wondered how histamine and leaky gut are linked? Did you know histamine is the cause of a leaky gut, but it also is the solution to repairing and reversing a leaky gut? You see, histamine isn't bad, it's protective. Histamine is released by mast cells, and we can also ingest it from food as it's part of the fermentation process of foods such as coffee, bread, cheese. And as I said, histamine is protective. Its way of protecting us is by creating inflammation. So let's get to a leaky gut. What happens is when our body is exposed to viruses, medication, and changes even in our bacteria or even certain foods, our immune system can begin to become reactive. What this means is that your immune system feels like it needs to protect your body from what it believes are allergens. To do this, the immune system releases antibodies. These are known as IgE. These antibodies travel through around the body and attach to mast cells. Think of these little IgE as antennas for the mast cells, watching out for what it thinks are allergens. So an allergen comes in and attaches to the IgE. The IgE then signals the mast cells to break down and release the histamine, which creates the inflammation in areas such as the gut. The histamine also circulates around the body, attaching to histamine receptors. These receptors trigger different histamine symptoms. You see, this inflammation in the gut is created to protect toxins such as bacteria and viruses from entering the blood. Essentially, the gut is forming a barrier using histamine to create inflammation. Now, this inflammation barrier is preventing toxins from entering and causing harm. But the issue is it's also preventing nutrients, vitamins, and minerals from entering the body. So to pull these nutrients in and keep the bacteria out, zonulin increases. On a side note, we test zonulin to see if you have a leaky gut, as higher levels of zonulin means you may have a leaky gut. Now you see, zonulin increases and pushes the intestinal barrier apart. This allows the zonulin to support the body by absorbing the nutrients. Now, as this is beneficial, but it also means that the immune system, seeing this leakiness, needs to protect the body. Therefore, the immune system releases more antibodies or IgE, which triggers the mast cells to release more histamine. This then creates more inflammation, so the zonulin increases even further. This then triggers this vicious circle, and the result is you're probably wondering why you're reacting to more and more foods or even other triggers. It's because your immune system is on high alert. Now, if you follow us on Instagram or Facebook, we talk a lot about histamine and histamine triggers. But in particular, we talk about the importance of balancing the immune system. The important question is, what is the solution? How do I reverse my leaky gut? Now, removing triggers, going on a low histamine diet or elimination diet can definitely help soothe the gut, but it won't fix it, as all you're simply doing is reducing the triggers. Now, antihistamines can help as they block the histamine receptor, but they still don't remove the histamine. So the solution in 2 words: detox histamine. I'm going to provide you with 3 steps to not only reverse your histamine intolerance, but most importantly, repair your leaky gut and help balance your immune system. Our aim with this protocol is to detox histamine and break you out of your histamine symptoms and histamine cycle by bringing your immune system back into balance. However, just like the symptoms and triggers of your histamine overload, everyone's histamine levels are different, so you may need to take it for longer depending on your gut and histamine levels. The protocol lasts 12 weeks, but the aim for the first 4 to 6 weeks of our protocol is to break you out of your histamine cycle and symptoms. Once this is done, we aim to continue reducing the histamine load over the following 6 weeks to ensure your histamine bucket is empty. However, the most important part isn't the protocol, but the reintroduction of what may be triggering your histamine, such as foods. So let's get into it. Step 1 is identify and remove your triggers. To make it easier, keep a diary of when your histamine symptoms occurred and look at what you ate or what was happening at that time to trigger your symptoms. This will help stop the mast cells from being triggered and releasing histamine into the body. That histamine creates that inflammation, and that's what we're trying to reduce. This will also stop the histamine symptoms that you are feeling and provide you with some short-term relief. Step 2, detox histamine. So you need to follow our simple and effective histamine detox protocol. Take 3 Toxaperent MediPure capsules 1 hour before your first meal of the day with 300 milliliters of water. Then take a further 3 more capsules 2 hours after your evening meal with 300 milliliters of water. Then lastly, mix 1 Toxaperent Medi Plus sachet with 300 milliliters of water and drink it 2 hours after your evening meal. With that evening dosage, you can take the sachets and capsules together. Some people use less water so they're not running for a wheel night. If you are going to do this, make sure you keep hydrated throughout the day and drink a big glass of water when you wake up, as Toxaperent needs water to travel through the body. Now, step 3, this is the most important step. After following the histamine protocol and detoxing using Toxaperent, after around 8 to 10 weeks, and if you feel ready, start reintroducing trigger foods and see how you feel. But don't worry, if you react, then it's a sign you may need to continue detoxing histamine. So just go back, follow steps 1 and 2 until you're ready to try step 3. Step 3 is where we all need to be. As I always say, if food was the problems, humans would be suffering much more, and let's be honest, there will be no cheese, bread or wine industry. Just remember, when you are doing this protocol, drink plenty of water and eat plenty of fresh, fibrous fruits and veggies. You see, fiber helps to bulk out our stool to help to make it easier to pass the stool out. But most importantly, please remember, be kind to yourself and let your body adjust to the detoxing of histamine. I know that can be uncomfortable to start with, but the most important thing is you need to remember you will get better. It's time to detox histamine, balance your immune system, and most importantly, reverse your leaky gut. So the histamine detox protocol is in the link below, and I really appreciate and thank you for listening, and I really appreciate our growing community of subscribers. If you've enjoyed this video, please hit that like button and do subscribe if you want to hear more about histamine, MCAS and vitamin D optimization. And as always, if you've got any questions or want to drop a comment, just drop it in the comment section below. Thanks so much.